Oh no. Okay. In this video, we're going to talk about the TV licensing fee, or misconceptionally called the German TV tax. Hey, I'm Jen.
And I'm Yvonne.
And we're from simplegermany.com, where we help expats settle into life in Germany more
Smoothly.
So, I am Jen, and I'm from Guatemala, and I've been living here for the past, oh my God, every time I say a different number. No, it's 8+ years. And she's Yvonne, and you're German.
Yes.
And you're here to actually help me out because I have questions about this TV thing.
Let's do it.
So when I first got here, I remember I did the famous Anmeldung, and then a few weeks later, I received this letter. And the letter, I just remember, had an orange logo that says AR, what is it?
Orange is ZDF, and blue in front of it is ARD.
Yeah, so it's like this, I just remember the logo. And it was asking for money. And obviously, I asked my colleagues back in the day in the company that I was with, and I'm like, what is this and what do I do? And they're like, oh, well, I think they called it TV tax, which is wrong, right?
Yes.
We will explain why. And you need to pay it. And I was like, why do I need to pay this? So anyway, so let's clarify things. So first of all, how did that letter reach me?
Well, like you just said, when you arrive to Germany, you do the famous Anmeldung. You go register your name under the apartment that you live in, which you have to do for other reasons. And obviously the German bureaucratic institutions communicate with each other. So the Bürgeramt, where did the Anmeldung, tells the formerly known as GEZ, many people still call it that way, but now it's just called Beitragsservice. They just let them know that there is a new person registered and that they will have to most likely pay for the license fee, not radio tax.
Yeah, okay, so then that's how they know, and I got the letter. So this letter asks for a reaction, right?
Correct.
So either I can register to pay as a new person, I can tell them that someone else is paying.
It depends.
Okay,
yes.
It depends. Or I can say that I have another house which is already paying, which is very confusing. So I guess my question here is, who pays?
So the law is, and it's certainly a law, that every household in Germany has to pay this license fee.
So it's not a TV tax?
No,
right? Okay.
It's broadcasting contribution license fee. It's not a tax, and that is the exact point. You'll ask that question later, so otherwise I'll jump ahead here. Every household has to pay, and now what is a household? That's the question.
Yeah,
right?
So what is considered a household? Okay.
So if you live alone in your flat, you are one household, you have to pay it. If you live in a shared flat, like in a WG, let's say with two other people, the three of you have to pay once. So not each person, but once per household.
Okay.
There is a way to get out of it. If you have, let's say, two flats and you're already paying for one, you can apply for not paying for the second one.
Okay. So at the end, but then you pay per house and as a person once as
yes,
well.
exactly.
Okay.
Then there are a few ways where you can get exemptions and reductions. Obviously, like let's say if you are deaf and blind, you are impaired to really take part in consuming radio or TV. So there you can also ask for an exemption if you rely on a social contribution from the government. You already are, not having enough money basically to live out of your own pocket. Those are like reasons where you can, but you have to apply for exemption. It's not just granted.
It's granted to you. Okay. So this leads then to my question, how much do we need to pay for this TV licensing
So
fee?
currently, as of 2021, because as all things in life, the amount usually increases over time. It is €17.50 per month.
Wow.
And the standard payment would be every quarter, so 4 times a year, with like 52.50.
Okay.
You have the option to select that you want to pay upfront once per year or once half a year, but the standard would be per quarter.
Okay, and then the question that I always had, which no one really explained to me before, it's like, okay, I don't have a radio, I don't watch German TV. Why should I pay for this for this fakely called TV tax?
Well, and that is the very good question, not just amongst expats, but also amongst Germans, when they claim exactly what you just said. And that's where there is also big controversy within Germany, pro and contra of this license fee. Why do you have to pay it? Because it's the law. That's the simplest answer. However, I believe it's important for anyone not German to understand the purpose behind it.
Yeah,
right?
So why do I have to pay it?
It basically is in place to prevent fake news. That's the simplest way of putting it. And little history lesson, real quick. It derives from back after World War II, when World War II was driven a lot by propaganda radio, which was controlled obviously by the party, the political party. And actually the UK enforced, the UK is like the #1 country with public broadcasting, the BBC, for example.
Oh, that's it. So it's not just Germany that has this.
Oh, not at all. There are like 34 countries that actually, worldwide, that have a treaty.
Okay.
And lots of countries have a license fee in different shapes and forms. But yes, it's not just a German thing.
Okay, but going back to Germany.
Yes. So the BBC, or the UK, enforced that Germany will also have public broadcasting, different TV and radio stations. And very important here, this is why you have to pay it, that it will not be financed by the government through taxes.
Okay.
That's why it's not a tax. It's not financed by the economy, by like powerful companies through advertisement. However, it is financed by people living in Germany so that they can be unbiased, that they can be independent.
What is they?
The TV and radio stations, the broadcasting services.
Okay.
That is the whole purpose behind it. Now, whether they use the money that they get in the way we would like them or not, that is the big question. And I think that's the main controversy here.
Okay.
However, the purpose behind it is that the news are unbiased, are independent, are as real as they can be based on their research. And more importantly also, there's cultural TV, cultural programs also involved. So cultural niches that usually maybe won't have the platform of being represented because there is not enough money through ads or something in it, they have a chance to be broadcasted. Okay. Sports get broadcasted, like all the big events like Olympic Games or like World Cups or whatsoever, usually get broadcasted by the public stations.
So when someone explained this to me in this way, then it made sense. Because then that means, okay, I am paying for kind of like to keep an unbiased content or unopinionated content on TV and radio. Yeah. But then that leads to my other question.
May I just add something real quick?
Okay.
So funny enough, again, there is a big controversy, and not just in Germany, also in other countries. And in the UK, there was the experiment that households who would usually watch, let's say the BBC, had to watch privately owned and run TV stations for 9 days or so.
Okay.
And after that experiment, 2/3 of those people wanted to have the BBC back.
Interesting.
You know, because sometimes you cry out that you don't want something, but when it's gone, you actually realize how you want it back.
How important it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the next question is, okay, now I understand that it's $17.50 a month for having unopinionated and biased TV programs and whatever. So does that mean that when I turn on the German TV, is everything that I see, is every channel supported by this TV licensing fee?
Absolutely not. No, of course not.
Okay.
It's radio and TV. Okay. It's a mix of the stations that are part of the public broadcasting and of course privately run.
So there are also privately run within the channels?
Yes.
But for the privately runs, I don't need cable to watch them, or?
Yeah, exactly. The cable you pay for, then the privately ones, the private ones.
So if I don't have cable in Germany, So if I don't have cable in Germany, that means I am watching the public content?
I believe so. I'm not an expert there. I don't know.
Okay. But just to be sure that then not everything that I see on TV is that. Exactly. And to actually know specifically which, I would say there are two super popular ones.
Well, so may I explain?
Okay, yeah.
So when you turn the TV on, the first station, really the number one, is usually the ARD, which is das Erste. It's like the first TV station.
Which, by the way, there you can watch Sendung mit der Maus, which is a really cool German TV show. And we talk about that in Unconventional Tips to Learn German, which we will link here. So you can check that out. And that is actually publicly
that is publicly broadcast.
So that is super cool.
And it's a super cool TV show, yes.
Yeah. But anyways, going back to your,
Then the second program is usually called ZDF. And it's called the second, das Zweite.
Okay.
And then usually the third one is regional programs that is part of ARD. So here in Düsseldorf or in Western Germany, it's called WDR for West German Broadcasting.
Okay.
In Northern Germany, it's NDR, and so on. Okay. We have a map here for you that shows you what public stations are where in Germany. Yeah. Because you might have heard, those acronyms before. Yeah. Because they're quite common in the, and I would say in the German language and culture.
Okay, cool. So my next question is, what happens if I don't pay?
You get in trouble. You get into trouble, into legal trouble.
Okay.
Because ignorance is not bliss in this case. And if you ignore the letter, maybe because you don't understand it or you're confused by it, don't do that. You will get follow-up letters. You will be receiving letters that request for payment. Eventually, it will be added. There will be added fines to it.
Whoa, okay.
They start little, it's like €5, €10. They're called Mahnung.
Okay.
So much so that at some point the company, because it's like an organization, right? The Beitrag service has the right to send someone to your door to collect the money, a money collector.
Okay.
And there are infamous, cases on German TV, on German news actually, that a woman actually went to prison because she didn't pay. There's nothing you can do about it unless you have a right for exemption, which we've written an in-depth detailed guide, which we will link below, with all those things that you need to know in depth.
Yeah. Okay, with all the details that you can
exactly
go into
with even more details. So be sure to read that if you're interested or if you're satisfied with our answer here. So just pay up, and that is actually the most important thing to do.
Okay, so there's nothing we can do. We have to pay.
Yes.
Okay, so then that leads to my last question. If I leave Germany, right? So when I arrive to Germany, I do the Anmeldung, and I leave Germany, I do the Abmeldung. However, do I need to do anything else to then unregister from this?
Yes, you do. And funny enough, this page is very digital. The official term actually is the ARD ZDF Deutschland Radio Beitrag Service.
Can you say that 10 times fast?
ARD ZDF Deutschland Radio Beitrag Service. That is the official name. It's no longer GEZ. So if you ever have written or read the GEZ,
that is no longer
the
accurate.
case.
Okay.
Yeah, since 2013, I believe. You have to go to their webpage, and there is a form where you need to deregister, because obviously in that case the German, they don't communicate the bureaucracy,
Okay.
Also, if you move within Germany, if you move apartments, you have to with your Bürgeramt, you have to do the Ummeldung, the re-registering, and of course you also have to let the Beitrag service know that you moved. So they don't, you don't get an extra letter because it's a new address or something.
Okay. Yeah. Super interesting. Okay, so I hope we have answered all the questions that you might have regarding this TV licensing fee. If you like this kind of content, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And I guess we'll see you next Monday.
Cheers!